Alrighty, my brother. Welcome to the EDJ Studios. This is the EDJ podcast, and today we have special guests. Some of my favorite topics to cover: fighting, sports. We do a little bit of everything, like you guys know. And today we have a special guest, man, Travis DEMKO. How are you, my brother?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on.
How was the ride? Hopefully, it wasn't too bad.
It was all right for now.
But that's pretty bad. So yeah, man, what got you into fighting? You do boxing, you do MMA, pretty much.
I started around 8 years old. My father put me in taekwondo. You know, I was playing other sports, but I thought when I had downtime, not playing other sports, put me into that. And once I started taekwondo, I started getting really interested in fighting. We were watching the early UFCs. And I said, Dad, maybe this is something I want to try, and it kind of just went off from there.
Oh wow! So you were doing like both at the same time, basically.
I didn't start out doing boxing. I wanted to do boxing when I was really young, but my father didn't want to put me in it when I was super young. So we started doing taekwondo, and then once I started doing taekwondo, I started really to elevate and started doing better than a lot of kids there and stuff. And I said, why don't we start doing some stand-ups, a little boxing, a little kickboxing, a little wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and it just started to go from there. You know what I mean?
Wow. So it's a crazy game that you chose.
Yes, sir.
You could have
Yes,
gone
sir.
football, baseball.
Yeah.
Probably a lot easier.
Yeah.
Do you come from you say your father got you into? Did your father train?
No, my father never even played any sports. My father's from Austria. He came over here to this country. He didn't really even know what sports were at the time. And, he just kind of picked up sports from watching stuff on TV and watching movies and stuff. So anything that he put me in, he just, he got from watching on TV, and he wanted me to do the things that he never did when he was younger.
And the immigrant background, you don't really have that focus on sports or not.
Just
You're
making money and trying to put food on the plate. You know what I mean?
Nice. So what, I know boxing, the MMA stuff. Which one do you prefer? Which one's your love, do you think? Or do you love them both the same?
I do love them both the same, but I mean, if I say what my main discipline is, it would be boxing. You know what I mean? I really do love boxing. The sport's very pure to me. I personally don't like going into a ring and being barefoot and stuff like that. I'd rather be wearing nice shoes and shorts and being dressed up all pretty like that. That's what I really like. But I do think that my style fits more into MMA. I think that gives me more options.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your weight class?
I fight at 145.
145. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's you're pretty tall.
5'8". I'm about 170, 175 right now. So this is actually going to be at a catch weight at 150. I prefer to fight heavier. I mean, I know guys at 155 are a little bigger, but I think that if I go a little lower, that I'm taking away from one of my main things, and that's the power in my left and my right hand.
Yeah, talking about that power, I looked at your record for MMA and a lot of knockouts.
Yeah, I got 5-1 with all first 5-round stoppages in the first round. So.
Yeah, so your knockout percentage is like at 100.
Yeah, yep.
I know, nobody wants to lose, especially in this era, in this time where everybody's trying to be Floyd Mayweather. I know you have one loss. How was that for you?
It was definitely hard. I think that I tried to go down in a weight class. I went down to 135, and I think I lost a lot of the things that make me good at being a fighter: my explosiveness, my power, and it kind of wasn't a great weight cut for me. And it was more of a learning experience, if anything, moving forward. But it definitely was tough for me. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be perfect. Everybody wants that zero. But I took it as a learning experience. MMA is a little different than boxing.
Yes.
Boxing, you got to keep that zero, you know what I mean? But if you look back at the fights back in the day, these guys were fighting, and they were fighting, they didn't matter. They go up and down weight classes. They will fight whoever, and I think that's a big problem in fighting right now. Not everybody doesn't want to fight the best, and to me, I mean, if you're really doing this, why not challenge yourself and try to fight the best?
Exactly. I agree with you on that. I think that whole, Mayweather...
he ruined it for a lot of people.
Yes.
Ruined it for a lot of people.
Yeah, because I think what makes fighting great is seeing the comeback. That's part of it, and MMA has kept that alive and well, which I appreciate.
I think that's why MMA is thriving so much more and took a leap over boxing a little, because you look at these guys in the MMA that are champions, they're fighting the best of the best, and it's happening every single month. They're not trying to hide behind promoters. They're not trying to hide behind taking these fights that are lesser fights that they should. They're fighting the number one contender every single time.
Exactly, and that's what we want to see. That's what keeps the regular fan interested. The hardcore fans are going to watch anyway. We like the carnage.
Yep.
But for the regular fans, they want to see the real fights happen. We don't want to wait 10 years or people past their prime so we can get the fights. That's boxing for you. Hopefully Dana changes that. I know he promised you he's getting into.
I seen he was getting into the boxing realm.
I like it. I like
that.
Yeah. In MMA, any inspirations? What fighters you looked up to growing up? I know you said you started young.
My two favorite fighters are Chuck Liddell and Fedor Emelianenko.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, when I was young, me and my father, we used to live for the pay-per-views to watch Chuck Liddell, because he was going in there and he was taking out people quick, and I was just, that's how I want to be. You know what I mean? I want to be exciting like that.
Yes, I mean, that era was wild.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best eras of MMA. Chuck Liddell, wow.
Yeah, I love Chuck Liddell.
What about anybody in the lighter weight class? Who would you say you maybe fight like, or is there anybody?
I think I fight like myself. I mean, a lot of these people are trying to do a million different things and trying to complex what they do, but I try to keep it simple. I like to wrestle. I like to box. I like to stand up and try to stay away from getting to the ground. So that's my plan. I know a lot of people, they want to be well-rounded and do this and that, but I would love to sprawl and brawl just like Chuck Liddell did back in the day. Keep it on my feet, keep boxing, and that's what I want to do. And I think that's kind of lost now. I think everybody's trying to do a million different things, but if I could just keep it on the feet, they want to try to take me down, I could sprawl. I could go down to the ground and make it happen too, but I'd rather sprawl, get back to my feet, and stop punching again.
Yeah, you do have a rear naked choke on there.
Yeah, I got a rear naked choke. I got a guillotine, so I do have some submissions in my back pocket, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
It's more fun standing up. I feel you. In a fight, right? You have a few either in boxing or in MMA. Have you been in there and you just been like, I just don't have it today, and you just have to push through that? Or
I think that one loss that I had, it was the first time I ever stepped into the cage, and I was just like, I just don't feel like I had it. I felt flat. I felt in the back room. It was the first time ever I walked out before a fight, and I just didn't feel like I had it. You know what I mean? But that's probably the only time I've ever felt like I couldn't get up for a fight. But that could have also been from a bad weight cut and losing so much weight. And like I said, it was a learning experience, and that's what I'm gonna take it as. Nice.
I know you told me when you first came in, you battled some injuries. You battled an accident. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
yeah, I'm open to talk about that.
How hard was that? Did you think about quitting at any moment, or?
Nah, that actually pushed me even pushed me more. I broke my neck, I broke my back, I shattered my ankle. I was in a coma. They pronounced me dead on the scene. But when I woke up from that kind of put things in perspective for me. I could have sat down and gave up and just try to live a regular life, but I still have dreams that I want to conquer, and one of my dreams is trying to make it to the league. UFC, that's the biggest promotion on earth for MMA, and that's what I want to do. And I want to do it for my father. We set out on this journey a long time ago, and I want to do it for myself, but I also want to do it to make my father proud as well.
Awesome, man, because anybody, if anybody has an excuse to quit, you actually have one.
For sure.
So the fact that you keep going shows a lot of character and a lot of heart. Most people wouldn't do it.
I appreciate that.
Especially you put your body through hell in the accident, and then you have to keep putting your body through hell in a fight.
Yeah, it ain't easy, and I work a physical job. I do underground utility labor. I'm in the union, so I'm doing that 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and I'm doing the fighting and the training on top of this. So, it definitely isn't easy. So I'm hoping for one day that I can try to make a little money and be able to take a back seat on the construction side. But I'm okay with it either way.
You've been doing it since you were so young, and of course you want to get paid, but you also do it because you because you like it.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a tough sport. It's a tough sport. I'll tell you that. What about any fight that's coming up? There's one that I'm looking forward to because it's striking. I hope it's just striking, and that's Pereira versus Khalil Rountree. What do you think? What do you think about that fight?
I honestly don't even know who they are.
No, what? No, play with me.
No, I'm not. I'm
no
really
way.
Not. I don't even
Alex
know.
Pereira.
Oh, Alex Pereira.
My
Okay,
bad.
maybe
I
it was the
said
way
it wrong.
maybe
Yeah,
it was the way
no,
you
I said it.
pronounced it.
Maybe. I'm sorry.
I thought you said Pereira.
I thought you were messing with me.
I thought you said Pereira. I was like, Pereira. No, I love Alex Pereira. Yeah.
And Khalil Rountree. That's stand-up's lover's dream.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I love Alex Pereira. He's just that stone-faced killer. He don't say much. He's pretty humble, but when he gets into that ring, he's a stone cold killer. I like that. I'd like to see Pereira, and I'd like to see him keep winning.
Okay. I think he's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that power is just scary. And
he don't even have to. Sometimes he could touch you. It don't even look like he hit you that hard, and he's putting people's lights out.
Yeah, it's freaky. I want to see. I wanted to see John and him fight. I don't think we're gonna get that.
No,
John's retiring, and I understand. I mean, John has accomplished pretty much anything in the sport.
Yeah, personally, I don't think he has to do much more after this fight.
Yeah, it's fine if he retires. I think he's earned that.
Yeah.
With that said, who is the GOAT?
In MMA?
Yeah.
It's so hard to just say there's one go. Like, even if you ask me who's the best in boxing, I mean, I could give you 5, 6, 7 different names. You know what I mean? Like,
boxing is trickier, I think, than MMA when it comes to, because it's such a long history. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
it's gone through so many stages.
I like John Jones. I think Fedor Emelianenko was at the top too. Yeah, guys like that. I mean, it's just so hard. There's so many different weight classes as well. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like those two guys. Yeah.
Nice. My go, of course, I got to go with John. Dana said so. I know you told me you have a fight coming up and you're in camp right now.
Yes, sir.
How's the camp going? I know it's hard. Are you cutting a lot of weight for this one? Do you feel comfortable with the weight? Or?
No, I'm actually really excited because I'm fighting at 150, so it's not going to be a terrible weight cut. I feel good. I'm in camp now. We're training.
Got a lot to eat.
Yeah, I get to eat a little more, which always makes me happier and makes training sessions a little more enjoyable. But yeah, we're in camp right now. We're getting ready. I'm always trying to train with my coach, so it's not like I'm never out too long. So we try to always stay busy. I took a little break in between this fight. I think I had 2 or 3 fights in a short span. So I was just trying to clear my mind this summer. Get away a little and get a little reset. But yeah, I got a fight in Niagara Falls, Canada, November 16th, and I'm excited for it now. So that's the main thing for me is to stay motivated and be excited for fights coming up. And this fight definitely excites me.
Nice. Well, there you go. November 16th.
November 16th, yes, sir.
I'll be tuning in. Is there a way I can watch?
Usually these cards are on like a UFC Fight Pass or something like that.
Okay.
But when I get more information and the contract signed, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to put out more information like that.
Gotcha. Nice. Well, good luck. I hopefully, we get the win.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be watching.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Boxing. Do you see yourself going back to boxing, or is that just not in the cards for right now?
Where I'm at my career in MMA right now, maybe a win or two. I don't know if I can get a call up or something, but maybe if it doesn't pan out that way and I don't get a call right away, 100%, I want to get back in the boxing ring, and I want to take a fight that's going to excite me too. I'm not trying to take one of these local fights around here where I'm just trying to get my record up and fight one of these bums. If I take another boxing fight, it's going to be a fight that's definitely going to be a challenge, and it's going to be something that excites me. Nice.
Boxing is one of my favorite sports, and it's one of those sports where I love it, but I hate the state that is in, just because of promoters and fighters getting robbed, and people not fighting who they're supposed to fight.
I agree.
Do you think one day this will be solved and maybe we could get an organization going like the UFC in boxing? Maybe Dana,
I mean, I don't know his name. The Arab promoter right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember the name.
I don't want to say it wrong, but I mean, he seems like he's doing the right thing. He's trying to make pay-per-views for affordable so people can buy it and watch the sport again. I mean, some of these pay-per-view prices are astronomical. I mean, how's the average guy gonna pay $80, $90 to watch a fight with him and his family or his friends? But I think he's trying to lower the prices, and I think he wants to make the fights that everybody wants to see. You see a lot of these top-notch guys, but they're not fighting who you want to see. Who wants to watch a fight against a big name against somebody that they don't even know? I want to see the best fight the best, and I think that's what he's trying to do. So hopefully that could help it out. I think he's really pushing for that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that the biggest fight that we just had, Canelo versus Berlanga. I mean,
awesome fight, by the way.
It was an awesome
fight.
I went in. I'm not gonna lie. I went in there thinking it was not gonna be a great fight. I was thinking Canelo,
I thought it was gonna be an in-and-out fight. It was a banger.
It was
a banger.
Berlanga's stock went up. I feel like after
100%.
that fight, because I felt like 6th round he's out of there. That's what I was thinking.
I think the fight next to me is him and Caleb Plant.
Yes, they're chipping at each other. I want to see it. Caleb, I love Caleb. He's a dog. My type of fighter. So,
and you got to understand too. I mean, a lot of people give Canelo shit, but that guy Berlanga is stepping into the ring close to 200 pounds. I mean, Canelo's probably 170 pounds max when he steps in that fight. So he's still taking a risk. I mean, people think he's like taking these foo-foo fights. I mean, he's still taking tough fights. And I will say about Canelo, he has fought the best of the best. He's won belts across many divisions, and I mean, even that fight with Bivol, I mean, that's not an easy fight.
No,
I mean,
that was that was at 175, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's crazy.
His power was not going to. I think that he doesn't put his punches together like a lot of those light guys do, but he's fighting these bigger guys. He's going to have to put more punches together if he wants to win, because Bivol looked like the lighter guy in that fight. I mean, he was putting 4 or 5 punches together at a time.
Yeah, and I mean, but again, that's just a lot of weight for Canelo, I feel like. And you're right, he is still taking a lot of risk fighting the people that he's fighting, but he's getting so much shit for fighting Berlanga.
They want everybody though.
They want him to fight. They want him to fight the Mexican. Shoot, what's his name?
It's right at the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, you guys know who we're talking about. The Mexican monster. I can't remember his name. Is not coming up.
His name either. But that is a risky fight.
It is
a risky fight.
It's one of those fights where I understand why Canelo wouldn't want to do it, because it's really, I mean, like he said, it's lose-lose.
He's not a young cat anymore either.
No,
man. He's not a young dude.
No, I think he's playing it smart. I think he's going the Mayweather route now, and he's earned that. So,
of course,
a lot of people are trashing him and saying he's going to taint his legacy by taking these lesser fights. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, the winner between Bivol and who's the other guy? Arthur.
I think so.
Yeah, whoever wins that, I mean, I think he wants a winner of that. So, I mean, that's taking a risk right there. I mean,
that's crazy.
Shoot, if he loses to Bivol twice, that's going to be a blemish on his record already. But like I said, he's an older guy now. He's fought in everybody. He's won across so many divisions. He has so many belts. I mean, he's an old school boxer to me. He takes on all comers, and he's fought the best of the best. So he has that option of saying, I want to fight this guy or I want to fight that guy.
Yes, I think if anybody's in boxing, have earned it, and the person that's kept boxing somewhat relevant, of course, Wilder, Fury, they came back, but before that, Canelo was pretty much the one holding up.
I think he's still a king of boxing right now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, he's the biggest draw in boxing right now.
I know that pay-per-view, that last pay-per-view did big numbers.
Yes. I mean, anytime Mexico and Puerto Rico fight is gonna make some numbers.
And I mean, that was the same night as the Sphere for the UFC. I don't know. I think the boxing fight outdid it.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
it did. I mean,
that tells you right there.
Well, you know what happened there was the Sphere was great and all that, but the card itself wasn't that great.
I wasn't a big fan of the card.
Yeah, so it was that.
You got this one chance to put on one of the best cards at such an awesome location, and I think you could have put the card together a little better.
I think you should have put out the big guns for that one.
Yeah,
I think it would have been probably the best show ever.
Because I mean, I know I would have been liked to have been there. That place looked awesome, man.
Yes,
That looked so cool down there.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been there.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney is this shit show.
I like Ryan Garcia.
Me too.
I like Ryan Garcia.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think he's kind of being a little sour about that. I think either way, PEDs or not, I think he still would have mopped him.
I think the guy is scared, and I mean he chose today. I just read he's suing him. Yeah. And that's ridiculous. This is boxing. It was 3 pounds heavier. The whole, cheating bullshit is so.
I don't even know enough to speak on what happened. You know what I mean? But I don't think anything that night would have changed the outcome.
Yes, it's a ridiculous claim, and he looks weak.
Yeah,
which is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. He looks terrible.
I agree.
And he doesn't want to fight him, obviously. And I feel like he's probably gonna lose his next fight.
Yeah, we're talking all this shit like, hey man, he ain't taking this fight serious. He's drinking, he's smoking, he and then he comes out and knocks you out, and that's a whole different story. Oh, we're gonna sue him because he's taking PEDs. That's assault. Listen, man, just take the fight take the loss like a man.
Like a man, exactly. Yeah. I felt like
he would have had a lot more respect. I think moving forward.
Yes.
But I think that's what's hurting his stock right now is just all the whining and the suing and saying this and that.
And he's supposedly the better boxer. And
he didn't look like it that night.
No, not at all. Not the power, not the speed, and not even the boxing skill that he's supposed to be known for.
Ryan Garcia's a hell of a fighter, man.
Yes.
And that left hook is dangerous.
It's crazy.
Yeah, left hook is dangerous.
It's crazy.
Man.
I want to see Gervonta against Ryan again without the whole weight clause.
I don't like the weight clause.
Yeah,
I don't like the weight clause.
I feel like that's what got him.
You're gonna drain a kid, and I mean that's why these guys are so smart, man. Sometimes it doesn't appear what it looks like on screen. You know what I mean? Like they have so many stipulations in these contracts and all these things. It's like just meet at the weight that you're supposed to fight at, and maybe it would have been different. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Gervonta Davis is a monster. Yeah, he is a monster. I'm not gonna lie, but it might be different. I don't know because that weight that night he looked big. He looked strong. Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. Yeah,
that night he fought Haney. Like he didn't. He did not look the same when he fought. He looked like two different guys, body wise. I meant.
Yeah, you could tell from the whole. Even when he walked out for Gervonta, it's just he looked dead. There's no other way. I mean, the guy couldn't even. He had to make the weight, and he couldn't hydrate. That is nuts.
But let's make the fights. I mean, Gervonta fight Tefamino Lopez. I mean that. You know what I mean? That should be a fight you want to take. And I feel like that fight's not going to happen either. It's sad.
I feel like. Gervonta is he's great. He's a great fighter, but I feel like he's trying to make his money.
He's going to May. He got schooled by Mayweather very well.
Yeah, and it's sad because he'll probably fight all these fighters with all these rules or after they're out of their prime, and it's gonna be. And it's sad because the guy is so talented, and they're already talking about it. They're saying that the fight that just happened between the heavyweights. Anthony Joshua, and I forget the guy that he fought. I don't know his name, but
it wasn't Du Bois, was it?
No, I don't think so. But whoever the guy was, he lost, and everybody thought Anthony Joshua was gonna walk through this guy.
But that's fighting. Anything can happen on
especially
any
at heavyweights.
I give him more props. At least he's going out there and fighting.
Anybody.
Yeah. But you look at a guy like Usyk.
Yes.
He was light heavy cruiserweight.
Yep.
Then he went up to heavyweight, and he beat all these guys. I mean, he ain't worrying about no weight. He was way undersized to Tyson Fury in that fight. You could see it visibly in that fight. He was a lot smaller than Tyson Fury.
We're getting that again. Yeah. So let's see. Hopefully.
I mean, I think Usyk's going to do it. I think Usyk's a better boxer. And like you said, fighters fighting. I think that's a prime example of fighters fighting is Usyk. You know what I mean? He was a unified champion at cruiserweight. He's a unified champion at heavyweight. I mean, he's done it. He's went out there and he's beat who he's had to beat.
I agree. He's fought everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we keep getting the big fights in boxing. I think it's good for the sport. The past few years, we kind of have been getting good fights, and the Saudi money is definitely making it happen. Hopefully,
I hope so.
We keep it coming.
He put on that fight, right?
Yes, yes. All the big fights that is happening right now.
Yeah, he put on that fight.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. What do you think MMA coming up? I know John is fighting. I think we know what's going to happen there. You know, I think this guy is great. What's his name? Shoot. Who John's fighting?
Stipe Miocic.
Miocic, I think he's great.
Yeah.
One of the
He's
greatest.
been out of the ring for so long, though. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could say the same thing for John. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
in and out of the ring all the time. But I don't know, man. Anything could happen in that fight. I don't know.
I just hope
I like John Jones in that
Yeah.
fight, but I mean, I don't think it's a layup.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
hope
it's a
it
layup.
happens. I hope the fight actually does happen. Nobody
Yeah.
gets hurt and gets
Makes
through.
it to the dance.
Exactly. Then we have, of course, we already talked about Alex and that 205 division.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that 185. What do you think about 185 division? I know,
I hope Alex wins this fight and then goes back to 85 and fights Dricus.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's what he was talking about.
Yes. He did say he's willing to go back down there. That's a great fight. That is a great fight. I think Izzy. I think Izzy's out. I don't think he's getting back up there. I know
Yeah, it'd be
people
hard. It's so hard to get back to that point and climb the ladder again. I mean, I'm not going to
now. Yeah, no, he's
count
great.
anybody
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
He's a great, but you've been on top for so long, man. You know what I mean? It's just MMA is such a quick turnaround. It's not like boxing with these guys stay on top for so long. It's like the turnaround of being a champion. It's like it's just quick.
And Izzy did it. Izzy fought so many times. I mean, the guy was fighting, I think it was like 4 times a year.
You can say whatever you want about Izzy. I mean, but
He's fought everybody.
he's fought everybody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You can't question
Anybody they ever put in front of him, and I think that's what we were just talking about. That's a big difference between MMA and boxing right
Exactly.
now. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, no, I would love to see Alex go back down, and I would love to see that, or vice versa. I would like to see Dracus go up and see, what
He's a
happens.
big boy too.
Yeah,
He's a big boy. That could happen.
Yes.
That could happen.
And
He even
he's
said that. He
grappling,
said he
he's
would go. Dricus said he would go up to 205.
He wants it. I would love
Yeah.
to see that. Then we go back, 170. What do you think there? I know
170. I mean, who's the champion at 170?
Mohamed Bilal, he beat Rocky.
Yeah, I think right now the state of UFC, I think we got a lot of boring champions right now. It's just like a lot of grapplers a hold and just,
I mean,
that's part of MMA. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah, no, it is.
I'm not gonna say it's whack because if you're doing MMA, that's part of the game. But we don't have an era right now where there's a lot of exciting fighters at champion like Bilal. Yeah, I mean he won his fight. More props to him. But I mean, I don't think he's gonna be the most exciting champ.
No, and like you said, it's part of the game, the ground game. But I don't like it when fighters are using it just to keep people down there. If you're down there, at least go for the finish. At least go for submission.
I agree.
If you're just holding people down there, I don't like that.
And you see a lot. You see a lot of that.
Yeah.
You see a lot of that.
Yes. So hopefully, they figure that out. Then we got the 55, and that's the same thing. I mean, I don't know what's happening with Habib's younger brother or whatever. He forget.
Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Makhachev,
I know he got hurt or something, so I think he's out for a while.
But I will say about Islam,
he strikes.
He strikes.
Yes,
you know what I mean? I seen him fight Charles Oliveira, and then he fought Volkanovski, hit him with a head kick, and so I mean, I think he's a little different than Khabib. You know, I mean, Khabib was a lot more wrestling. I think Islam is upgraded from what Khabib was.
Yes, and also Khabib is a little bit different. I won't put Khabib in that same Bilal thing because he finished dudes. Mm-hmm. He wasn't just he was actually getting dudes out of there and wasn't going 5 rounds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
With his wrestling, whatever, but he was getting you out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect that, but I hope he pulls out a fight. He doesn't fight enough. That's what I'm trying to say. Like for whatever reason.
Islam.
Yeah. So I hope.
Yeah, they won't hold on to that belt.
Yeah. That's one thing that I appreciate from like a guy like Izzy. He wasn't doing that. He gave everybody the shot and the chance.
I mean, you see guys like Volkanovski too.
Yes,
he fight on a week notice, 2 weeks notice, and
but Volk, I hated it when he took that fight. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think it was smart.
No,
I think he got hurt really bad his last fight. I mean, you got to give your brain a little time to rest before you get into a big fight like that again.
And especially a person like him he was gonna be in there for GOAT stat. I think he still is, but he was definitely gonna be up there for one of the most dominant fighters we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I felt like for a person like him with his record, he should have
Like we were saying, it's so hard to stay on top in MMA. It's like even the best of the best. You go back to guys like Chuck Liddell. You go back to the guys that reigned for so long. Eventually, you're gonna get touched. Eventually, you're gonna get knocked out. And then once you get knocked out, your chin's only gonna degrade from there. It's not gonna get better. So it just happens with time. It's Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah. That's the great thing about MMA is that you don't have to be the champion for people to watch your fight. No. You don't have to be. All you have to be is an exciting fighter and put on a good show.
Who's the guy that's 0-7 right now in the UFC's last 7 fights? What is his name?
0-7. I'm not sure.
No. He just fought recently. I can't even think of his name. 0-7 in his last fights, and they still got him a fight coming up. But like, Tony Ferguson.
Tony Ferguson, yes.
People like him. He's exciting. You know what I mean?
Yes. And people like Max Holloway. I mean, he's not going for belts anymore. Like
he's gonna be fighting.
Well, now he's
fighting Lila. That's a very exciting fight. Yes. Yeah, that's a super fighting.
Yes,
super exciting fight.
And that's gonna be one of those. If you like stand up,
exactly,
your type of fight.
Exactly.
I can't wait for that one. Mm-hmm. Very, like I said, that's the beauty and the difference between boxing and MMA. Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna keep.
These guys are gonna be fighting the best every time they step into the ring. I don't think Dana White's gonna put on fights where, hey, we got this guy down here and he's a good fighter, but he's obviously not at your level and you're gonna win this fight. Like you're gonna go into a fight. Max Holloway, Lila, you might have a horse in that race, but I can't tell you who's gonna win that fight. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and that fight, it's hard. That's a hard
fight to pick. I'd like to see Max Holloway, but Lila Tapora's got clean striking, man. I've seen him in the ring boxing. His boxing's crisp. He's got crisp hands.
Yes. It's definitely gonna be interesting. Matt is older. Elia is a little bit younger, you know, so it's gonna be interesting. If Matt if he could pull it off, I mean,
you look at him. He was in the UFC, so he's been in.
He's young still. He's still like 31. 20. I think he's like 31. 31. Now. Yeah,
he got into the UFC like 20 years old, man. He's been to even be in the UFC that long and be on top or be in the mix that long. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, I agree with that. So. Like I said, that's the beauty of UFC. You got great fights all the time coming.
Yeah.
What do you think of, like, where do you see yourself in maybe 5 years? If everything goes your way.
I hope it's not 5 years, but I'm trying to make it happen now. But if I get a finish here, if I get a finish after that, maybe 1 or 2 fights, I think I could get a call. You know what I mean? 5-1 with 5 first-round finishes. I get a couple more finishes. I think I get a short notice fight or maybe a fight on the Contender Series like that.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, that's my plan. That's I'm doing this to try to make it to the best level and fight the best fighters. And I'm my last fight, I fought a game opponent coming out from Colorado. He was 4-1. I'm fighting this kid. He's 4-1. He's up from Canada. He's a tough kid. He's fought in good promotions. So I'm taking these fights in hope that when I finish them, that will get people to have eyes on that and say, hey, well, this kid's not only going in there and finishing people, he's finishing game opponents.
Exactly. Well, let's hope. Let's make it happen.
That's my plan. That's the dream.
Yes. It's such a hard game and it's tricky. But is there any concern from your family, your dad, doing what you do? Do they try to maybe sometime persuade you or no?
My mother won't even go. My father loves the fights, but he's always in the corner walking around pace, and my mother won't go to the fights. But yeah, I'm sure they'd like to just see me be a regular. I mean, I got a good job. I could just stop fighting and be okay. But like I said, I do this because I love it. I mean, my father's really into it, and his just concern is that the older you get, he just wants to see me live a normal life after fighting. But I've been doing this so long, boxing, MMA. I'm not one of those fighters that take a lot of damage. Even in my boxing fights, I've always in MMA I'm more of a press forward and try to knock you out guy. But when I was boxing, I was a very counter fighter type of guy. You throw, make you miss, make you pay, moving around the ring a little. So I got a little flavor. I can make people miss. I can move on my feet. I'm not flat-footed. So I haven't taken too much damage leading up to this in my life. I still got my wits about me. I mean, listen to me speak.
Exactly. No, for sure. Yeah, I wanted to ask because I noticed in your MMA, in your MMA career, there's a lot of knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
In your boxing, there was more, TKOs or decisions.
Yeah.
Is there? What do you attribute that to?
Like I said, I am a counter fighter, but also when I started, when I turned pro in boxing, I was very young. I think I could have stayed in the amateurs a little longer, but I wanted to turn pro and get my feet wet. I think now, my mid-20s, going into my 30s, I got a lot more manpower. My mental gear is a little different. I think I've changed. I'm more of a man now. I think when I was 20 years old, I was kind of young, you know what I mean? I'm not how I am now, so... When I was young, it was, I'm worried about my fans there. I'm worried about, what if I get knocked out? What if this happens? What if that happens? I'm just, my mind's so different now. I'm older. I feel stronger. I feel bigger. And my mental gears are just so much different being 30 years old from 20 years old. I think, even if I got into the boxing ring again, I think it would be completely different from when I was in my young 20s. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah, I always wonder that because I'm like, what happened?
Well, you put little 4-ounce gloves on. That's a big difference too. But like I said, boxing, my style is a little different. Boxing, I do fight different boxing. I am a counter fighter. I like to move around the ring. I am more of like a traditional pure boxer when I box. You know what I mean? I'm not going in there and just trying to throw bombs and try to take you out in the first round, which in MMA, I know that I got those little gloves on, and if I could touch you the correct way, I could put you out early. So it's a little different.
Nice. Yeah, it is. It does make a difference, that the extra padding.
Yeah, that extra padding's a little different.
Yes. Massachusetts, big fighting city, town. All over the place. We got legends in boxing. We got some people in MMA. Rob Font,
yep. Calvin
Cater, yeah,
yep.
right.
Joe Lozon.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you take inspiration from those guys?
Well, when I was 17 years old, I went out to Colorado to train out at a very big gym called Grudge Training Center, and I actually had the opportunity to live with Calvin for a couple months out there and train alongside with him. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I take any inspiration for people. I mean, I'm a grown-ass man, so I don't really look up to anybody. If anything, I look up to my father. That's the only person I look up to. But, no, I mean, I take little things and some stuff, I look at it and go, that's what I want to do. But I wouldn't say I'm inspired by anybody. Inspiration comes from myself. Yeah.
Cool. This is entertainment at the end of the day, and I feel like some people go too far. Some people don't do enough when it comes to that. And that end, we've seen what putting yourself out there and being entertaining, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor.
Double-edged sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was where I headed. Like, what do you think about that? Do you care? Do you try to amp it up for the fans and give them something?
I've had a couple post-fight speech where I'd run off of the side of my lip, but at this point in my life, man, I mean, I work, like I said, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. I'm in the gym so much, training hard. I mean, I don't have the energy to be doing this and that and trying to put myself out there 24/7. I appreciate you bringing me on. That was really nice of you having me come out here. But I mean, I just want to train. I want to provide for me and my family. I just want to just go out there and do what I have to do, because at the end of the day, if my fights are exciting, that will speak for itself, I think.
Agree. And it looks terrible when you can't do it. If it comes natural like Conor and these guys, sure, whatever, that's you. But it does look.
I can definitely run off of the side of my lip, but like I said,
if somebody gets you there, the fighter is giving, is going there with
and like
you.
I said, I mean, we're on these local promotions right now. I mean, if I get to a bigger platform, maybe that's something I'll dive into. But around here with these local fights, I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I'd rather just stay humble and let my hands do the talking.
Great, I like it. Training. What is probably your least favorite thing to do when you're getting ready to a fight or just trying to stay in shape? But is it hard for you? Look at me.
Cutting weight.
What will you be? What will you be if you didn't have to cut weight? Will you be like, look, I was in shape before.
Oh, trust me, I've got there. I've been 200, 210 pounds. I could put on a beer gut myself. If I wasn't fighting, I'd be heavy. I'd be golfing every day. I'd be smoking cigars. I'd be drinking beer. That's what I'd be doing.
Nice. So anything that you dislike, running or
No, I love road work. I mean, honestly, the training part, I don't really mind. I mean, I'm in the gym hitting mitts with my coach 2-3 times a week, sparring at least once a week, doing my road work, getting my wrestling in. I enjoy the process, man. It's definitely a grind, and there's definitely days I wake up and I'm just like, damn, I don't want to do this shit at all, and why am I doing it? You know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess that's the grind of life, man. You know what I mean? You will probably wake up sometimes, or you even get here, you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this podcast. I'm tired. I don't want to do this shit. But I mean, that's just the grind. There's gonna be days where you want to do it. There's gonna be days where you don't want to do it. I guess that's what makes you appreciate it in the end, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, and you just gotta
push through it.
Even something that you love, sometimes you just don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, so. like I said, I love this. But there's definitely days I wake up and I don't want to do it. Put it that way.
Yes. Okay, so how about you win a big fight? You did this big, this big preparation. You went through camp and you got yourself a knockout. What are you doing right after that? How are you celebrating? What are you eating?
I'll probably get a nice cigar. I'll probably go on the golf course and play a little golf. I'll probably eat bad food for 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. Maybe my coach would say even more.
Weeks, okay.
He might say I might go into hiding for a little, but yeah, I like to enjoy myself a little after the fight, but it's definitely changed as I gotten older. I mean, when I was younger, it'd be going out and partying and hitting the bars and being around a bunch of people. More of it now is just relaxing, and what I do to relax is smoke cigars, play golf, and hang out with my close friends. I don't got a big group of friends that I hang out with like I used to when I was younger, so I got a small group of friends. I do little things that I like, and that's what I do to enjoy myself now after a fight.
Nice. Just don't blow up like Patty
Pimblett.
Yeah, don't do that.
Maybe.
Do you have? You just say you don't have a big group of friends. Are you married, kids, anything like that?
No, not at the moment. I have a girlfriend right now. We've been together for about 4 years. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about that.
If you do have kids, will you encourage them to do this, or
Hell no. If I have kids, I'm gonna put them in tennis or golf or something.
Man.
Something that doesn't involve. I mean, I've been getting my head smashed around for a while, man. I played football. I did this, boxing, MMA, wrestling. So anything I've done has been, wear and tear on the body my whole life, and I don't want my kids to feel how I feel right now. I mean, I feel good, I look pretty, but
yeah.
But I'm getting older, and you feel that when you get a little older, and I mean that accident didn't help. So no, I wouldn't put them in anything that would put their body in wear and tear or affect their brain. I would definitely push them away from that. I mean, I'm not gonna tell them that they can't do something, but I would encourage them not to.
Nice. Boys though. If you have a boy, see that.
Yeah.
That is knocking out some people. He's going after. All right, man. Well, I think I got everything I wanted to get. It was great talking to you. I
appreciate you having me come on. I didn't know this guy from a hole in the wall. He reached out to me. He asked me if I want to come on the podcast, and that's how you build relationships, and that's how you make things grow. So I appreciate you having me on. I really do.
Oh man, the pleasure's mine. Like I said, I started the podcast to do things like this, and sometimes I reach out and people don't answer back and say no. So when people actually respond and take the time to come and talk to a fan of the sport. Fan of the sport. It's I'm grateful. Thank you.
Well, maybe after this fight, if everything goes well, maybe we can come back on and we can have a little cerveza.
Yes, sir. Anytime you want to talk.
I'm in camp right now, but I'd love to have a couple beers and we could chat it up a little more.
Let's do it for sure.
My man.
Hopefully Coach comes in and joins us on camera. But yeah, no, thank you very much. Good luck on the fight. I'll definitely be watching. I'm a fan, and best of luck, man.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.